Welcome back to another episode of the No Money Real Estate Podcast. And I have a full-blown transformative story to tell you today on this episode of the No Money Real Estate Podcast. If you want to get started in real estate, you have to have a reason to do it. You've got to have a why. One of my mentors used to tell me all the time, you need a why that makes you cry when you think about it. And I'm going to walk you all through it. I'm going to tell you why I got started in real estate, how I left law enforcement, the shit that's happened along the way. You don't want to miss this episode. Stay tuned.
Hey, my name's Ken Dunn, and I'm a real estate investor. I want to welcome you to the No Money Real Estate Podcast. On this show, I'm going to interview elite level real estate investors from all over North America, and I'm going to help you to see one thing that all successful real estate investors have in common. They built their portfolios without using a dime of their own money. I've got a portfolio of $300 million in real estate. That includes resorts, apartment buildings, commercial buildings, and I've built the entire portfolio without using a dime of my own money. Real estate is a business that anybody can get into, but the strategies that those tight real estate investors use to build massive portfolios have been kept secret for decades. Now, because of this show, I'm going to reveal them to you. So let's get started.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hey, today I'm in Medicine Hat, Alberta. I'm at Hot and Cold Therapeutics. Hot and Cold Therapeutics is a distributor that distributes our hot tubs and saunas into med spas all over America. And I'm out here today helping them open their brand new showroom. But I had a couple minutes to spare, so I wanted to sit down with you guys and talk about how I got started, why I decided to get into real estate investing. And it's actually a quite fascinating story. I spent 15 years in investigative policing. I was with the RCMP on a SWAT team for a while. I did undercover drug work for the military police, and I worked with the Ottawa police where I did general investigations and all kinds of weird and wonderful stuff. I did policing for 15 years, but things changed for me when my wife Julie told me that she was pregnant with our first child, Matthew. You see, I'd always dreamed of being a dad, and I was really excited about it. But I always swore that if I ever had a chance to be a father, my kids would have a better life than me. I'd want to make enough money that they could go to school, they wouldn't be labored with student debt. When they were finished, they'd get through everything and they'd have the best chance of success in life. And 25 years later, my son is a senior executive at a very fast growing company. My daughter actually works in the marketing department and game day team for an NHL hockey team. And they're doing amazing. No student debt. They had a great time in school and they're off to the races. And that all happened because of real estate, because of my businesses and everything I've done along the way. But I'll tell you what, making that transition, it wasn't easy. Because when I first made the change, I still had to be a cop, but I had to start doing something new. So I went to a friend of mine whose dad owned a big insurance company, and he was a bit of a mentor to me. And I asked him to give me some advice that I wanted to make some more money. I thought I'd actually go sell insurance for his company part-time because all my buddies that were cops had some type of part-time thing going on. But he gave me an opportunity that just changed my life forever. I ended up starting a mortgage company with him. And we made so much money that I was able to quit my job in policing. And 4 years after I started the company, I sold it. But when I started that company, the one thing that Mr. Manta told me is that he wanted me to get into real estate investing. He said, once you start making a lot of money, you need to do something with your money, and there's nothing that's going to be better for your family than building a portfolio. So we owned some rental properties in Ottawa when we lived there. When we left Ottawa, we sold them. We moved down to Whitby, Ontario. And to be honest with you, I literally dabbled in real estate the whole last 20 years. But back in 2017 is when I started to take this really seriously. That's when I realized the power of short-term rentals and buying cottages at undervalued prices, renovating them, increasing the value. I decided to build a portfolio of it. Things were going well. We got 5 or 6 cottages. Then we realized the power of hydrotherapy, and then we installed hot tubs, cold plunges, and saunas at all of our cottages, and it blew up. Today we have 11 cottages and they make over $1 million a year, and it's unbelievable. And when the pandemic happened, I couldn't buy the cottages the way I used to. I couldn't buy them at the cheap prices because nobody was leaving Canada and everybody was buying them. So what I decided to do was look at bigger projects, and that's when we got into resorts. Right now we have 4 major resorts that we're building. We're basically buying old dilapidated resorts. I like to do this because they're already zoned properly. They already have most of the compliance they need in order to operate. They already have the business licenses for the resort, so I can go in and just renovate the properties and turn them them into luxury boutique properties, add spa amenities to them, and drive up the occupancy of the places. All of our resorts have restaurants, they have marinas, they have all kinds of really great things going on at them. But that's where we're at today. And as we talk about this, as I record this video right now, we've got a lot of amazing things happening. Our company, Canadian Hot Tubs, which I bought 3 years ago, is exploding. It's doing unbelievably well, averaging between $500,000 and $800,000 a month in revenue. We're 3 months away for launching a new retail business called Cottage Backyards. Back in January, I went to my team and I said, okay, because we're opening the resorts this year, I need a full list of everything we're gonna need at those resorts outdoors. Because obviously they're cottage resorts. People spend a lot of time outside. So we're talking Muskoka chairs, outdoor living room sets, dining room table sets outside, barbecues, pergolas, umbrellas, heat lamps, fire tables. It just goes on and on. They came back with 146 items. When I got my procurement guys to figure out pricing and where to get this stuff from, we realized there was another opportunity for us. Because in order to get the best pricing for those materials, we had to order 2 to 3 times more of the materials than we needed. So because of that, we moved our offices in Whitby into a building that has a 20,000 square foot warehouse that we're renting, and we're putting all this stuff in there. Then we saw a retail store in the same building, and we decided that because we're buying this stuff at such cheap prices, we can undercut the market, and we're going to do that. So the new retail business, stay tuned. It's opening very soon. It's called Cottage Backyards. We're gonna do crazy things there. So the highest quality Muskoka chair you can buy in Canada is about 39 pounds. It's made of composite plastic, and you'll typically pay anywhere between $300 and $350 for them. Well, we're selling them for $250. If you buy 2 of them, it goes down to $240. If you buy 4 of them, it goes down to $220. And if you buy 6 of them at one time, it goes down to $200. Everybody else is selling them for $300. We're selling them for $200. And this is everything: pergolas, outdoor living room furniture, games like cribbage and backgammon and chess and checkers, cornhole, ring toss. I mean, anything you can imagine. Kayaks, canoes, standing paddleboards. It's all going to be at Cottage Backyards. And we are going to do e-commerce, so you can order this stuff from anywhere in North America, and we will ship it to you at the craziest prices you'll ever see. And we're even going to sell the stuff cheaper if you're willing to assemble it yourself. So you can buy it assembled or not assembled. So we're really excited about that too. But I got to tell you, friends, it hasn't been easy. And I'm going to talk more about this in upcoming episodes of the show. Fundraising. I've had to raise capital for all of these projects. And about 2.5 years ago, my company and I were attacked by some unknown individuals who started posting significant amounts of defamatory information on Reddit and Google. It was mostly on Reddit. They used usernames to do it so they wouldn't have to reveal their identity. But it was so freaking damaging that it started to hurt my reputation. And it really hurt my ability to raise money for our project. So all of our projects got delayed because of this. And we ended up hiring an incredibly talented online investigation agency. And I paid them $100,000 to go find out who was actually doing this. Because they were saying heinous stuff like Ken's not paying his bills, he doesn't pay his investors, all of his projects are not going anywhere right now. And the reason nothing was going anywhere is because these guys were doing this stuff and it was hurting my reputation. It did some real serious damage. Anyway, 8 months after we hired that investigation agency, they came back to us and they proved who it was. And I mean, it was really shocking. I can't tell you the name of the person right now because it's all before the courts. We've started a major lawsuit. But this individual created 7 fake Reddit accounts and then hired hackers to publish all the negative content. And we know it's the case because we filed the claim before the Superior Court of Alberta. And then after we filed the claim, we sent a notice to Reddit saying that we were suing this individual and we had proof that he created these accounts and he created all the content. And normally lawyers, when they're starting a lawsuit like that, they'll send these notices and what they'll do is they'll tell the people, in this case, they told Reddit to not destroy any evidence, to hold all the proof that we were alleging. Well, guess what? The day we got that letter, Reddit took everything down. We weren't expecting them to do that. We thought that they would leave it there until we got a court order to have it taken down. So our lawyers contacted the lawyers at Reddit and said, why did you take it down? And they said, because you were right. All of that stuff was done by the individual that we're suing. And Reddit said they have all the proof. They're going to hold it for us until we get a court order to produce it, but then they'll give it to us. But they already told us it. So things are back on track now. They took all the negative shit down. There's still little bits of it here and there, but we're getting through it. We've got new funding arranged for 3 of our resorts. So everybody's getting back to work and we should be opening them in the next year. Anyway, I'm really excited about it. What I want to know from you guys is, do you want me to go into a full episode of the podcast and talk about that attack? How we found it, what we did when we found it, the damage it did to us. How did we find the right investigation firm to do the investigation? How did they actually get video evidence where the bad guy actually admitted on a video that he was doing it? And then how did we get Meta, Facebook, and Reddit to cooperate with us in the investigation? If you guys want me to do a whole podcast show and go into that, then all I want you to do is go into this show's notes and say, tell me about the defamation case. And if enough people say that, I'll do a whole podcast on it and I'll lay it all out for you. What I can tell you is this, friends, as you become more successful in business and as you get more businesses growing, you're gonna have haters. You're gonna have people that attack you. Why are they doing it? You'd have to get inside of their twisted head to find out why. Jealousy is a big reason. Contempt is a big reason. I don't know all the stories. Egomaniacs, whatever. But the more successful you become, the more people you are going to have that are going to attack you. That's all there is to it. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it, and we'll see you soon.